let us bow our heads, because what a week it has been. Now, I pray to you, Lord, that on January 7th, I do not wake up to notification that I must report to the cotton picking fields. I pray to you, Lord, that I can still drink from a water fountain. I pray to you, Lord, that the coping skills you gave me back in 2016, I remember them. Now let's take a moment of silence, because where are we? Are we in 2024 or is it 1954? All right. Woo. Okay. Now I know it's been a hell of a week. Some of us are still decompressing, figuring out like, whoa, how did we get here? While other people might be excited, happy about the future. Okay. For those of you, I don't know how this video came across your timeline. All right. But as I'm thinking about this last week, and I'm taking myself back to the election night. Okay, I got a bone to pick with some people. All right. Now, one of them people is Kerry Washington. Okay. I'm trying, look at my feed, check for updates after I got off work. Luckily, I was not on social media throughout the day because your girl was busy holding space and helping people. But in the evening, I was like scrolling, and of course, Kerry Washington is very pro-voting, very pro-Kamala. And so she says, don't worry, don't panic, okay? Don't get caught up in the red mirage. There's still time. And I'm like, girl, I didn't ask for Kerry Washington. I need Olivia Pope to show up with her team and figure this ish out, because where are we? How did we get here? All right. And I'm just wondering, what does this mean? Are y'all fearful, worried that we're going to be picking cotton, drinking from separate water fountains? Does he really have that much power and control? And is it really about Donald Trump, or is it his constituents and his followers? All the people who are pro-MAGA, and the repercussions of so much hate speech, and how now's the time where it feels like people can get away with saying what they want, doing what they want, and there's really no repercussions. Okay. Immunity for police officers. You got people who you thought you knew coming out, and they are pro-Trump. Family members, friends. I've even had a couple clients who decide to get a divorce because, I did not know my husband was pro-Trump, so baby boy, you gotta go. All right. But how do we get here? Okay. Do people not really care anymore? You think about the smaller issues. Okay. Do you think, or maybe they care too much about those issues, that people are so focused on making America great again? Okay. What does that really mean? And when you look at the numbers, and you see that an overwhelming amount of Latino men came out to vote. Now, they said go out and vote. Okay. Now, we did ask for people to go out and vote. But the thing is, they went out and voted for Trump. And you would think that with so much rhetoric and things said about the Latino community from Trump, from supporters, all the things he has put in place to really make a lot of people who are not here legally go back to where they came from, in his words, get rid of the illegals. Okay. They're criminals. Okay. Do Latinos not care about those things? How it could affect friends, families, some of the older generations of Latinos having to maybe go back to a different country. But it just feels like, I think now it shows just how individualized this country has become. And people are only focused on what things affect them. I remember, what was it, a couple years ago when everybody was out there protesting. They had on them pink kitty hats for pro-rights. Okay. We want women to have rights. Wasn't there a bunch of like white women at that time? Pro-life, pro-woman, let's fight for our rights. Another demographic were a bunch of white women came out and voted for Trump. Okay. What happened to that? Okay. Or is it that people are caught up so much in the fact that they got them checks that we did have to pay back, y'all, in taxes and other ways too, that's not on paper, that we are paying for? But I'm like, wasn't y'all so about women's rights, reproductive rights? But now it's like, oh yeah, We don't want y'all to have them abortions. If you get pregnant, keep that baby. That baby is a life. It's a human being from the time it swims upstream into your uterus. It's a baby. But what about all the people who have situations where they did not choose pregnancy on their own? I've seen plenty of clients who have gone through different essays, things that they've gone through with incest. And those of us who, do choose to get pregnant, but something happens during pregnancy. You're hearing more and more stories about people who could have been saved, but because of the federal laws in place, doctors are fearful of losing their license, fearful of going to jail. So I know that, I can just give you a DNC to, help you and take that baby out of your body because it's not viable. But I'm very fearful of going to jail. I'm fearful. I really need to follow the law. So unfortunately, you're going to have to go home with that pain. Unfortunately, that unviable fetus that is inside of you ultimately will not only take your life, but it's going to take the life of people around you. Because I recently even saw a story about a girl who was 16 and she was having a miscarriage, and the doctors did not help her because of state laws, regulations, federal laws, regulations, and unfortunately she lost her life. Okay, something so preventable. A procedure could have been done to help her, I don't want to say eliminate, but have that fetus not be in her body anymore. And the excruciating amount of pain I can only imagine that she was in days leading up to ultimately her passing. But this is going to have a ripple effect. Also think about the Supreme Court justices. How many of them are about to retire during Trump's continued legacy? And what do you think is going to happen? More conservative people are going to come into play, get nominated, and be put in there. And once you get that Supreme Court justice chair, you ain't going nowhere. That is the ultimate job, retirement plan. Okay? But how did we get here, y'all? And let me just say, as a therapist, schools, programs do not teach us this kind of stuff. I say all the time how in graduate school, there are so many things that those textbooks do not include. Okay? There is real life things happening that they don't teach us about. Like being a therapist during this time. And not only needing to hold space for your clients, but holding space for yourself. And now I did go to work the day after. I did work the day of because I really wanted to hold space for my clients. And I got bills. Okay? But so many people need a space to just kind of vent, talk about, process. What does this mean? And so many of my clients are already going through episodes and have a history of depression, that they're already in a low point, that now it's kind of like, well, damn, I was trying to fight this depression, but here we go. How do I come out of my house? I've already been isolated and not really going out as much. So here I am now trying to convince people to have hope, have faith. Have hope and faith in the world myself. Because every other week it's like, oh, you have faith, girl, for what? For what? And I can't be the only one who's just wondering, where's the faith? Are we in such an individualized society? It's so black and white, literally and figuratively now, that there's no gray. You're either on one side or the other. You can't be in the gray. I also wonder, how does this affect us each individually? And I want to know from you guys, what are you kind of doing to help yourself cope? What'd you do this week? The week ain't over yet, okay? What are you doing to kind of just check in with yourself, decompress? Are you staying off of social media? Are you limiting your social media use? Are you thinking about, okay, when this happened the first time, how did I cope with it? What did I do? Okay, go back to that. Okay, how did I get through it before? Think about those skills. Me, ultimately, I feel like I have been through worse things than Donald Trump. All the different things I have been through, my own trauma that I have been through. If I made it through that, I will make it through another Trump era. And at the end of the day, I have faith in myself, who I am as a person, what I have gone through, what I have overcome has built so much resilience and strength in me that I know I'm going to get through it. Okay? As Black women, the world is always on our shoulders. The weight of the world, we're always having to be strong. Okay. Do you think we can ever get to a point where we take that cape off and stop having to be strong? Okay. But I know I am strong for myself, and that's what matters. Not so much that I am strong for other people, but I stay true and be strong in my beliefs and who I'm as a person. Remember where I came from, remember what I have been through and how I've overcome so many hard things. And I have the power, the resilience, the strength to not allow the next 4 years to take me out. And what can I do to remain who I am and not forget my faith and my beliefs, and to not allow the world to steal my joy? Okay? Because at the end of the day, life will life, but don't allow that to take away who you are as a person, to change how you move. Move with, a little bit more situational awareness. Be aware, but don't allow this whole post-election Trump era to stop you from living, having the goals you already have for yourself. Make room for joy. And if you need some time to just kind of take away and not be so caught up in social media, do that. But think about what you need. Maybe it means becoming a little bit more individualized. How does it affect my family, my household, things like that. Maybe we're becoming more of a country where individualism is what is at the forefront. Okay. But let me know, how you been coping through the election? Is it Kamala's fault? Is it Biden's fault? Should he have retired 2 years ago and stepped down and let her come in so that she could have showed the world what she could really do? Or is it that the world is not really ready for a black female president? Because the numbers kind of show we don't want that. Okay. Was there enough time? I want to know you guys' thoughts. Open dialogue, conversation. Let me know in the comments, because of course we can get into it. Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, turn that notification bell, and I will see y'all next time. Sincerely, an honest, real therapist. Bye.